Okay. Hi guys, my name is Nicole D. Miller, author of Stories for the Urban Soul. Stories for the Urban Soul is a compilation of short stories, novellas, and poetry depicting Black characters dealing with everyday life issues from parenting to social injustices to heartbreak to sisterhood, friendship, a gamut of topics that are relatable, specifically geared towards the Black community with a faith-based lens and a hopeful, positive, encouraging message. So, to learn more, go to NicoleDMiller.com. Thank you guys for joining. This is my Word of the Day Wednesdays, where I piggyback off of my latest blog at NicoleDMiller.com. The last post I released is I Can Only Imagine, and I Can Only Imagine was inspired by the movie, which depicts Bart Millard, the lead singer of the contemporary Christian group Mercy Me, and it depicts his growing up experience, his journey into becoming a man, the difficult relationship that he had with his father. And I think the interesting thing for me, and this is what I talk about in my blog, is that I watched that movie shortly after my mom passed, so it probably wasn't within the year of my mom passing, so I was definitely in a grievous state, and so the movie hit me so tough. First and foremost, for those who don't know me, I'm already a sensitive soul. Does not take much for me to shed some tears. However, so I thought I was like a bucket of tears because I am sensitive and I'm grieving and it's just over, right? I caught myself watching that movie the other night, same thing. And it really wasn't until I wrote the actual blog that I realized there were so many similarities with me and Bart's story, which I talk about in the blog post. And I knew initially that that movie affected me because I resonated with this journey of healing from a difficult relationship with a parent, and how God just in his mercy redeemed the time and gave both of us this time before our parents' passing. One of the differences is that Bart knew his father was dying, and not right away. I actually talk about that. He didn't know his father was dying right away. But when he did find out that he was dying, he did understand, that their time was short and that he could enjoy every moment and be fully present. I didn't have that luxury, and that's the difference with knowing someone's leaving as opposed to, not knowing and being surprised. I mean, it's hard either way, just in different ways, I think. So that was a difference. But it definitely stood out to me the first time that I watched that movie that we had that in common. And I think that's why it hit me. But the added layer to that was watching it this time around. I realized, I also share this similarity with being an artist. And that's such a new term for me, to view myself as an artist. Like I told you guys, I have an MBA, I looked at myself as a business person first and foremost. But as a writer, I am learning that, that's my creative outlet in this season. I have other ways that I have creative outlets, but definitely writing is a creative outlet in this season. And so this time around, I resonated with Bart's call to writing and Bart's advantage that he had when his father was able to fund his dreams. So I talk about that resonating with me as well, and I just knew it was just divine. I was watching that movie for multiple reasons, and it hit me that hard the second time around because of that. So it wasn't just my grief, it wasn't just because I'm sensitive, it was because this is similar to your story and what I have for you. That's what I felt like the father was saying. So what hit me about Bart's story was just the level of trauma and abuse that he experienced. And I just love anyone with a powerful story of God swooping in and manifesting his power and manifesting his heart and his love. And it's a miracle. It's a miracle when you experience the power of God like that, when it's supernatural, when it's intimate, when he blows your mind, when he does the impossible. And I actually will be releasing a blog next week that kind of dabbles into that, because I feel like I got to see it again this past week. Some of you guys know, if you follow me on social media, I had the chance to go to Essence Fest this year. I was so hyped because there were several acts that I had been waiting years to see, and had no idea that God had another surprise for me, that I got to meet my favorite author, Omar Tyrese. So that was phenomenal. I'm like so on a high from that. But long story short, I just feel like the message is to believe for the impossible. So, and I can only imagine it skyrockets your faith, you know, to see God's provision with Bart. He literally got his last check from the life insurance that his father left him right before his first hit blew up, which is the same title, I Can Only Imagine. So if you guys aren't hip, download it now. It's amazing. And I think what's significant too with Bart's story is just how they told him he hadn't made it yet. He hadn't arrived yet in his craft. His own idol, these people that he admired in the music industry, told him that he wasn't ready, and they told him to leave. They told him to leave the music industry. And if he would have listened to man, we would never have gotten his music, and he never would have realized his dreams. So, powerful story, powerful encouragement. If you are going through anything difficult with a loved one, with relationships, with believing for their transformation, with believing for redemption, with believing for the manifestation of your dream, definitely check it out. So, it's a good one. Alright, so I'm going to let you guys go. That's all I have for this Word of the Day Wednesdays. I have a few events that are coming up, so I'll be posting about those. I have a panel at Lyndhurst Library that I'll be on in August, and that's going to be talking about being a self-published author. I have an Indie Author Expo. That's Mid-Ohio Indie Author Expo. That's also in August. I'll be posting about that. And I think there's one other thing in August. I need to look at my calendar. But if you haven't done so already, definitely subscribe to my newsletter. In my newsletter, I give you guys all of the updates with what I'm doing and what's been going on, and new book projects and new events and all that. So the newsletter is dropping a little late this month. Normally I drop it the first of the month, but because I was traveling, it's going to be this Saturday. So stay tuned for that. But if you go on my website, right at the top, you can sign up for the newsletter. And then I have my weekly blog, I have my Word of the Day Wednesdays, and then I also do a follow-up to the blog, which sometimes I'll put in little updates in that as well. If you need to reach me, you can email me, NicoleDMiller1983@gmail.com. You can also follow me on Instagram at HCOHB. You guys know I am launching my publishing company, NDM Publishing. So go to my Instagram at HCOHB, and you can see the link for the publishing company, or you can just go to at NDM Publishing. And you can also go to my Facebook to follow me, facebook.com/HCOHB. I do my Word of the Day Wednesdays live on there as well. And you can sometimes find me on Twitter at Nicole D. Miller. Alright, thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope you're encouraged. I hope you're feeling a little bit better after this little message, and I will see you next week.